How's it going, guys?
Going
Great. How
well.
are you doing?
Good.
Uh,
Can you
Kellen,
tell us a little bit
Kellen, can you?
about your upcoming outing today?
Yeah. So had two really good days on Tuesday and Wednesday of practice. Thought our guys really just attacked it. They were longer practices, heat. Thought these guys knocked it out of the park, and so today Hunter Deckers made a three-pointer in the team meeting, and so we chose to go to 504 golf and spend some time as a team. So it's been awesome.
Kellen, can you just tell us everything you felt like you were able to accomplish during this off season, and also how important it was to intersperse some of these outings with it to kind of get the guys those team bonding experiences away from the field?
Yeah, I think it's really important to build on a solid foundation. And so that foundation is really built around people first and foremost. And so we certainly spent a lot of this time trying to find different avenues and opportunities for all of us to connect and spend time, whether it be an outing of paintball or golf or a community service event, all the other things that they do in between that. We spent a lot of time investing in that, and I think that's really, really important as you build a team. You got to connect everyone. And so we started there, built a really good foundation in the weight room. I thought Ted and that group did a phenomenal job of just building on a really good foundation of just creating really good habits in there. They worked their tails off, and we feel like we saw a lot of growth in the weight room from a lot of our guys, whether it be from weight training or a speed proponent. There's a lot of different growth there, and so that was really good. And then once we got to the football aspect in phase two. Um, it's really about building a foundation from a schematic standpoint and really focusing on the fundamentals, the details, and building the sound foundation for us from a scheme perspective. And so I feel like we're there. And the main objective moving forward is to just continue to keep growing and keep building through training camp.
So,
How
Kellen,
was
to be
Hunter? How
clear,
was Hunter the choice for the three?
Uh, Jawan was the offensive captain. And he chose Hunter. And so after we had a little offense versus defense 3-point challenge, the offense won, and we doubled the ante and gave Hunter a shot. If he made it, practice was over. So he made it. He had confidence. He let it go, and he's got a little high school basketball in his background, so no one was surprised.
so if he had missed, you would have just practiced as normal.
There might have been a few more shot opportunities. Hopefully, we might have had to. I'm really glad it was the first guy that made it, and we didn't even have to go down that road.
Hey, Kellen, what can you say you've learned about your team so far?
Um, I think it's a really connected team. They work really, really hard, and I think that's one of the big aspects of this is we're creating habits during the off season. Schematically, some of the what you can do during the OTAs has some limitations, and that's okay. We're building on a really good foundation. I think our habits are where we want them.
Colin, as you balance the team building and the bonding off the field versus what's going on the field, like would today have been a day off no matter what, or is it just because you felt so good about how things have gone to this point that you felt like you could do this, or is that all equal pieces of the puzzle?
We felt as our off-season program progressed that we were really doing. I thought our players were just doing an outstanding job of what they're doing, their workload, their ability to compete, and so as it went, certainly we felt like this. As long as it stayed in the same trend line, this is going to be a great opportunity for us just to finish off camp this way.
Look, Kellen, the collective bargaining agreement obviously limits what you can do in practice time. Does that make it difficult? I mean, is it a hard decision to give up one of those practice times?
No, I think a lot of teams, I don't think we're one of the unique teams. I think there's a number of teams that kind of provide these different opportunities for teams. There's a lot of different ways you can view. Obviously there's the football aspect of the offseason, which is very important. There's the weight room aspect, and then there's the connection. And once we get to training camp, there's a lot of physical work ahead. But these are always great opportunities for us just to connect.
How would you evaluate the quarterback competition so far now that you've had the OTAs and minicamp to evaluate it?
Yeah, I like where those guys are heading. A lot of the quarterback process during the OTA phase, I think, is really focused on their command and their control, their ability to, call the play, take control at the line of scrimmage. I thought all those guys get a check there. They did a really good job. You see them make the throws that you need to make. They certainly made those plays, and I think their preparation has been really good. And so, obviously, the execution, just the consistency, is going to be the big aspect as we continue to grow this thing. But I think you really feel really good about where all these guys are at.
Kellen, have you given any more thought as to how you want training camp structured and if y'all went to California outside of joint practices, like how long y'all would want to go?
Yes. So we'll start obviously in New Orleans in Metairie, specifically at our facility, and so we're really excited about that. We'll be home. We'll get into that routine. It'll be really really good. We will go to California, kind of tied around our Chargers preseason game, and so we'll be there August 6th through August 15th for a small window. Just I think I think more importantly, it's a really good opportunity for us just to change. Put the guys in a little bit of a different environment. Those guys will spend a lot of time together naturally when you kind of go on a longer road trip, and so we feel like that's a great opportunity for our team to continue to connect. We'll change the environment, and then after that game, we'll be back for 2 preseason games and more practices back here in Louisiana. So we feel great about the opportunity that's going to provide.
Will you guys go back to Irvine for the part that's not the Chargers?
Yes. Yeah, and for all that, we have a preseason game with the Chargers, but other than that, we'll be practicing, similar to last year's routine at UCI.
But then the Chargers also have a facility, so will you guys go over there, or are they coming to?
We're just doing the preseason game with those guys. So
Oh, okay, so there's not
yeah.
any joint practices. Got it.
Yep.
Is there anything you want your players to take through this stretch? Being prepared, keeping in shape, that sort of thing.
Yeah, we talked a lot about that in our team meeting today, just as far as you just got to keep building. I think that's the biggest thing is there's certainly growth opportunities throughout this entire summer. You want to recharge, you want to get to have the opportunity to spend some family time and all the good things that come with a little bit of a summer break. But from a physical standpoint, these guys got to keep building, keep getting better. They got to spend some time from a football perspective preparing themselves so that when we hit training camp, we're just continuing to build. We're not going back to step one and rebuilding this thing from the beginning of OTAs. We are continuing to build, and that's when you got to take big leaps and bounds when you continue to grow each and every day.
Kellen,
Kellen, this-
you get a chance to enjoy some of this too, or are you gonna be so locked in on just trying to continue what you've already started?
For the summer,
Yeah.
yeah, it'll be great. Yeah, definitely. Haven't had much of a break, from last season to this season so far, and so looking forward to a little bit of family time. Obviously, it'll be good for us just to recharge as a family and spend a few days and have a few trips here and there.
Kellen, this might be a dumb question, but I was just curious from watching. Is there like strategy behind choosing not to wear helmets during all your walkthrough sessions?
Part of that is just to avoid the physical components, because naturally when you have a helmet on, there's a comfort level and in the physicality that I can maybe do things that we don't need in those settings. And so we just take the helmets off just to create an environment that make sure everyone's on the same page, that it's a teaching phase as opposed to a competitive phase.
Tyler Shuck the other day was saying how part of the reason he's comfortable in a competition like this is because, he's been through it in college a lot. I was wondering if you could kind of tell that, like, what have you noticed from his poise and how he's approaching this thing?
Yeah, I would say for all of our quarterbacks, they've all been through adversity in some way, and so that's one of the attractive pieces to all of these guys is they've faced some adversity, they've faced some competition, they've had to deal with the ups and downs of those circumstances through their college careers, and so all four of them have been in those situations, and I think that's a real positive that they know how to handle these situations. And hey, everyone wants to play, everyone wants to play, everyone wants to be out there on Sundays as a starting quarterback in the NFL. That's every quarterback's goal and dream, and that should be it. Ultimately, one's going to play. These guys understand that aspect of it, but I love the interaction that these guys are all in it together. They're helping each other, they're coaching each other, they're talking through it. Those things just add up to a really special group.
And forgive me if we asked this, but regarding California, why did you guys want to go out there for, that amount of time?
Yeah, it's just kind of a change of scenery for our guys. When we're here, obviously it's our normal environment, and I think it's always important at some point in training camp to create a little bit of a different environment. Sometimes it's joint practices with other teams; those tend to happen. This year, it's going to be a trip out there, and it's an environment that obviously the organization has a great experience with as far as creating a really good routine out there. I think it allows the guys to bond, stay in the same hotel together, do a lot of team activities, and it's always good.
I sorry, I
Awesome.
just keep going here. Oh, sorry. Jordan Howden, real quick. What did you see from him this offseason? He got a lot of work with the ones. Is he
Yeah.
something that kind of caught your eye at all?
Yeah, I would just say consistency for Jordan. When you have opportunities like that to start repping with the ones, and it's just, the consistency that he plays with and the reliability, there's a lot of communication that goes on in the back end with those safeties. So his consistencies just continue to show up. He's been really consistent each day, and that's what you want out of that position.